My name is Washington Njika, so abbreviated as Wash. So my business started in 2019. That's when we officially rolled it off. But before then, it's something that I was passionate about, so I'd started way back, but not more of a customer facing. I was just doing it as a passion. And then in 2019, that's when we officially kicked off and started Stitch by Wash. So Stitch by Wash is just a short form of Washington. Okay, it started when I used to watch a lot of online stuff about cars. I'm passionate about cars. So that's when the idea hit me, because I used to see some of the guys doing it out there, but not locally here. So in terms of stitching, say the dashboards, the steerings, and the interior makeover of seats. So I started practicing with my car. I started stitching the steering wheel. So that's when it kicked off. And then the first one I rolled out, I just used to watch it on YouTube and practice it practically. And then I realized something that I can do. It's coming out so well. So then I transitioned. I bought one machine. So I used to stitch just at the comfort of my home. I practiced it, and then seeing the end results, I thought that this is something now we can venture into. So that's when the idea struck me. Maybe I need to register it as a business so that it can start rolling. Okay, I can say we started small because I incorporated my brother into this. It's called Robert. So he's been walking with me through the journey. So it started, I opened a small shop, and then we first did a car for a client, and it was really wowed with how it turned out. So based on that, now we started going big in terms of advertising it more, pushing it out there. And then the reception was good, because one client referred me to the other. It keeps on proceeding like that. So it's more of a referral. I can say my business model works more of a referral, because once you've done successfully a job for someone, they'll eventually invite some other people to maybe come and see whatever you're doing and the like. So I can say it's been a journey. It started way then in 2019 when we officiated it officially to start it, myself and my brother Robert. So we invited a few more guys, because I realized I could not stitch alone, and also work on several cars, because the orders were starting to get in. I think people are starting to appreciate more so the interior of cars makeover, the way it looks like. You can upgrade from fabric to leather. So I can say eventually that's how we started it off. And it gained momentum as time progressed. To gain momentum, we now try to venture into other markets and the like, and try to push it more even on social media. So that's our basically where we get a lot of clients. It's on social media, because we're out there, we speak out there on social media and the likes. So people get to appreciate when they come on the ground and see what actually takes place. So that's how we've been. I can say the model has progressed from back then up to now. We're still progressing on that way. Okay, normally what we do once the client walks in, and based on the experience that we've had in this company, you already have a profile or maybe what possibly the client will need from you. So even as you approach the client, you're already prepared. You may need A, B, C, D. For instance, if I can just give a good example, when we talk about cars like Touareg, Passat, the Range Rovers and the like, the moment you see it walking in, you'll eventually see this car needs a roof upholstery. That's most probable problem in such cars, that kind of cars. When you see a Prado, maybe a Toyota Harrier, the older model, probably they'll be coming for the dashboard. It normally has some cracks and the like. So you profile customer based on the way you see him, but basically it will depend with what the clients want. But at least you have that background idea of what most likely might be needing. So once the client walks in, the first step is to go through his expectation, what he wants to achieve. Maybe he wants the dashboard done, he wants the steering done, he wants the seat covers done. And now you take him through the designs that we have, because we have a variety of designs and material options. So you take him through various designs, maybe what matches their interior, and if they are free enough, they also give you that time to decide, because we like working with the clients who are not sometimes so rigid, because they give you that aspect of creativity. Interior upholstery is all about creativity. You might have a very old car, but then you give it a modern interior, it comes out so well. So clients who are not so particular into this, what they want, they always rely on us for advice. So we also give advice in terms of what can really go well with that type of car. So once a client walks in, there's a checklist we normally go through. That is checking the functionalities of the car. If it's the dashboard, we have to check, does it have maybe any check engine and the like. We check through the windscreen, does it have any scratch, any crack and the like. We check through the body, a walk through, just to ensure that by the time you will be giving the client the vehicle back, it's properly checked and everything intact. We check about the functionality for the seats. For instance, those that recline, those that use power, it's more of a electric seats. We have to check that, does the motors work well, does it recline as expected and the like. So basically it's a walk through the functionalities of the car, and then now we go through the design. Once we've agreed on the same, then we give him the scope of work and the timeline that it takes to do that. Based on the categories of the cars we have, most of them lie in 2 to 3 days category because you have enough manpower. For the saloon cars, the normal straightforward, especially if it's not so old, because the older cars needs a lot of fabrications and the like. So if it's straightforward, we'll do it in 2 to 3 days. We can even deliver in a day. Those are straightforward cars. Maybe the just customer needs the seats, door panels and the like. Those are straightforward. 1 2 days we are done for the saloon cars. For the mini SUV, you'll give it like 3 days. And then the full size SUVs, you'll give it like close to from 3 to 5 days. It ranges there. Then we have another special category for the old school, we call them classic cars. Those ones really take time because there's a lot of fabrication that goes in there. You realize in the process of doing ABCD, maybe in terms of doing the door panels, you realize some things can't be replaced, you have to source that and the like. So those ones will give them even close to even a month in terms of delivering such, because they really take time, have a lot of modifications here and there. But basically on an average, we'll say 2 to 3 days, that's our turnaround time. Okay, during that period for 2019, I can say it was challenging. But again, to the contrary, that's the time we had a lot of traffic, fun enough, because a lot of guys were working from home, people had time and the like, so they could also visit and maybe have a look at what we've been seeing on social media. Is it really what you do on the ground? So during that time, I can say our business, much as it was low, but we had a lot of engagement in terms of customer visiting the premises, seeing what we do, appreciating what we do, the art and the like. So during that period, it was a trying moment, but we pushed on because we had some engagements coming through. And even that time, that's when people had time to maybe give us their cars to work on and the like. Those that might take a while, we had plenty of time to work on that one. So it because COVID came almost when we were picking up. So we had not built enough customer base to say, but for the few that we had, even in terms of the referrals and the like, we can appreciate and say that we had something that kept us going. The first major challenge was staffing, in terms of getting to find someone who does exactly what you envision. Because initially my idea was I would stitch it myself. That's why the business was Stitch by Wash, because I have passion in that, and I'm passionate about interior. So I started working on my car, doing the steering, the dashboard, the door panels, and seeing how it comes out just from watching YouTube and the like and practicing here and there. Now getting somebody who has that passion and the precision was a challenge, because we engaged a few guys who are doing it before, but now through guidance, just to perfect the stitching bit, to perfect the art and the like, so that they can come up with what you envision. But during that period, again, we had challenges in terms of turnovers, because it operates more of a jua kali way, because you get the guys out there, today is reported to work, tomorrow is nowhere to be seen, you have a client here, you cannot do it alone in terms of stitching. So those are the major challenges that we experienced. And then also, even as we grew, we didn't have that aspect in terms of good materials, because it was more of a practicing bit. You'll work on a car on this particular material, then you realize as a result of the sand races and the like, the dashboard has gone bad within a short period, you have to redo it. So eventually, over time, we learned the good types of materials. We now import our materials, those that are recommended in terms of even heat resistance when you're doing the dashboard. We are guaranteed 7 years plus without any issue. So it's something that we've worked through. Challenges are there, but we've kept going, and nowadays the model that we've developed is training our guys in-house, because we realize if you rely on the guys that you maybe outsource out there, they might not have what you envision and what you want to achieve. So basically we bring guys in, we train them, we take them through the program and what we want to achieve, and then they become one of the best trimmers that we have. So even quality wise, you realize it's going up each and every day. Everything has gone up. So as a result of even the taxation and even the cost of living that is going up, so eventually the prices for items will go up. But what we realize in terms of importing, we get it a bit cheaper compared to locally here. And then you also get materials of good quality, because that's the ultimate thing. You'd want to differentiate yourself from other players in the market in terms of what you're offering. You're offering the best in terms of material, durability, and even the outlook there depends so much on even the type of material that you're using. So what we went into is in terms of engaging. We identified one supplier who supplies a lot of leather materials. So he's the one we use currently. So he has special orders for us. We go to the shop, we identify this, and because he's been in business for a long time, he's able to tell this material, if it comes up to here, eventually the cost will be this much. So that one helps us even in terms of adjusting our pricing, and even knowing forehand, if you're going for this material, eventually we might charge it this much. And also we've gotten a lot of orders in terms of pure grade 1 leather that is done locally here. A lot of people need that premium feel of the local leather. So when it comes to that, we also get it locally here for the pure grade 1 leather. So it eases our work because we're able to know the rates out there. They tell us of this number of rolls, we'll charge you this much. So then we guide clients through the good materials that we have. If in any case a client needs a specific one that we don't have, then that one we give it like 3 to 4 weeks for us to order. But we are open to options, and we normally like practicing new products as they come into the market. So I'll take you through the variety of options that we have in terms of materials. So starting with this one we did in pure grade 1 leather local. So this is one of the best that we have at the moment. So this one will guarantee you over 15 years plus durability, and it's also very comfortable. Realize pure grade 1 leather is that height, it's breathable, so even on long distance and the like, you do not sweat so much when you're using pure grade 1 leather. So that's the best in terms of durability. And then in terms of pure grade 1 leather, we have the local one and the imported. So this is the local one. Then I can take you to the imported one. This is the imported pure grade 1 leather. The imported one, in terms of the advantage that it has, doesn't fade off easily because there's some material they apply on it, making it not to fade easily. And then it's also very soft. So in terms of durability, most cars comes in this type of leather nowadays. Has a bit of a mixture of PU and the full grain leather in it, so bringing it that aspect of finish. It's very soft and also easy to work with, as opposed to the local premium one, which is a bit hard. So in terms of durability, this one will give it 7-8 years in terms of durability. And then we have the PU leather over here. So PU leather is just an imitation of pure grade 1 leather, but it's mixed with a sample, with some component called polyurethane. So that one helps it in terms of the coating and even the finish. So you'll see the print, it has that aspect of leather print, but if you watch keenly, it's uniform. You see leather print, the natural leather won't have the uniform print. So that's another way of distinguishing pure grade 1 leather and the PU. But pretty much looks like pure grade 1 leather. So at times we do the perforation for the PU leather in between, just to help it to become more breathable, especially on long distance when somebody sweats and the like. This one takes care of that. So from that, now we have the list in terms of grade is the Rexin, majorly used on the door cards because it's highly stretchable. So Rexin will go into areas that we have curves and the like, but can also be used in doing seats. It's cheap, and in terms of durability, you'll also give it 4 to 5 years durability to serve in that. Then we also have the fabric. They have some clients who need all fabric because fabric is a bit even more comfortable, breathable. So we also do such. This one we've done in fabric, though they are wrapped at the moment. So that is all fabric, just same as most cars come in fabric interior. So we also stitch that based on clients' needs. So once the same has been done, we normally wrap it just to avoid dust getting into that. Some clients also transport the seats all the way from different locations within the country. So once we are done, we wrap it well and also transport back. So that's the essence why you'll see some finished seats are all wrapped all through, just to avoid that aspect of staining after we've done the cleaning and perfect fitting and the like. When a client walks in, these are the actual samples that we normally show the clients based on the colors. Like this one is pure grade 1 local leather. You can see we have a variety of color options to choose from. So there are several. This is pure grade 1 leather local. Then we have the artificial leathers as well. So you can also see we have a variety of shades and even the print. We have the smooth print and the rough print, depending with the client's preferences. So when it comes to things like the floor and the like, we also have variety. So these are the imported leather. In terms of flooring, these are different shades of pure grade 1 leather. We have variety and even the shades, the prints. We have various options. I can say competition has been stiff because even we have some guys that we had even employed, started the journey with. Eventually they broke and opened their own. So that is something that is constantly, something we are battling with constantly. But what we stand for as a company is we want to offer the best. We want to be the best out there. So even as we empower these individuals and they go start their own and the like, the idea is always trying to be the best in terms of offering newer services in the market, offering better pricing, because we ultimately want to look at how we can lower the cost of upholstery, even for the end user out there. So we constantly come up with ideas, processes that even ease in the upholstery process in terms of even reducing the manpower, doing a lot of automation that helps us in delivering a quality job while it's at the same time affordable. So what has differentiated us with the competitors is that edge of delivering top-notch job. Because we have even players who had it, who are in the market before we even entered. And nowadays we get a lot of clients saying maybe we did this one 3 years back from individual X, we now want you to do it, we've seen what you're doing a better job and the like. So we get such, and constantly that encourages a lot because it's something, it's a journey we are moving with, ours is a passion. So it's more of an art. We perfect it each and every day as we do the upholstery journey. So basically we try to be ahead of competitors in terms of the materials, in terms of the quality and even the customer experience that they have once they set foot at Stitch by Wash. So that's how we keep ahead of other competitors in the field. Yeah, but the competition has been stiff. We've grown, we've even opened other branches. Currently we have 3 branches. We have one in Mombasa, we have one in Eldoret, and the main one here in Nairobi. In terms of staffing, it started, I was the individual one, the sole, the only person doing it then. And then I incorporated my brother, and eventually we've grown even in terms of staffing. We now have a staff of over 50 guys that we've employed. So that one also gives us pride because we empower the youth there. We give employment to guys. So we have over 50 staff distributed across the branches. And in terms of the machines and the like, there are many. And even with such expansion comes a bit of challenges, which we've encountered and seen how to curb the challenges as we progress along. And we've tried to maintain quality across all our branches so that people in Eldoret can get their stitching done there. They don't have to come all the way to Nairobi. People in Mombasa can get their stitching done there. They don't have to come all the way. So we are standardizing our products and even so improving on the quality as the days goes by. My advice to young people would be, once you're passionate about something, push and go for it. Because the idea might start small. You might think it's just such a small idea, and people out here need that service that you're offering, or maybe that idea that you have. So what you need to do is constantly push and try to sell it out there. Try to be seen out there that you're offering such. Because initially when we started off, there were no upholstery companies, many of them around. But eventually as we started shouting about it, we realized a lot of upholstery companies have mushroomed. So that tells you that there's demand for that. And people constantly look for such services, and somebody might not know there's somebody who can redo the steering wheel, to almost original. There's somebody who can redo the dashboard again back to original. So in whatever business you're doing out there, the key is to have passion for that, and then you push towards achieving your goal. So basically it's doable, start small, and then eventually keep growing. So what I can advise is also to research more. You don't close your mind to whatever you have. You don't become comfortable. So always look for new ideas. What are other people doing there? How can it be done better? How can I automate some processes, even to make the work seamless and also produce a better job? Once you're at that, the moment you're offering good services, guys will come for it. On social media, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us, our name is Stitched by Wash. So in terms of locations, the main branch, that is Nairobi, we are located at Garden Estate, Thome. So it's off Thika Road, exit 7, just 200 meters into Thome Garden Estate. You'll see our branding. It's Stitched by Wash, a big branding on the wall. To Mombasa, we are at Bandari Villas. There's the road that's opposite the Khalifa, the one that goes to Bombolulu. You drive through 200 meters, we are opposite Sifokef at Bandari Villas. In Eldoret, we are in Eldoville Estate near Moi Girls. So just like 500 meters into Eldoville Estate, you'll see Stitched by Wash there. So you can visit any of our branches. You can call us on the numbers that we normally provide online. We are available. You can always direct further and attend to your needs.